muted? Oh, I've been muted the whole time over here on StreamYard. My bad. Just so you know, let me repeat for everybody that didn't hear me on Instagram. Hi, this is Love Coach Dasha. I'm here today to help you to get past infidelity. You are here because you still love your person. You still want to be with them. You still have those deep down feelings, but you're not sure how you're supposed to heal after this betrayal. And I'm here to tell you all about how to do it. Everything that I know about having to heal and recover and reconcile this relationship because I've been through it. I have myself been on this side. I am 15 years past the last D-Day, not the first, but the last. My husband cheated for 4 years, for 4 whole years, and it has been 15 years since that. And I was the one who was able to make this relationship continue to grow and to continue to be something while he was not doing what he was supposed to do. Okay. I took the lead, the emotional lead of this relationship, and I took it where it needed to go. And I'm here to teach you how to do that too. All right. So if you've never been with me before, make sure you go over to streamyard.com/Facebook and allow them to see your name so I can see it on my screen. But I'll be bouncing back and forth between the videos anyway. It doesn't. I do want you to do that so I can see it all in one place though. All right. Let me refresh. See myself on that page. All right. So, what we do every week, I am here to tell you things that you can do that are going to help you to overcome this trauma, to feel better, to start to recover and reconcile with your boo. Okay. That is all I'm here for. I don't have any advice about how to give up. I don't have any advice about when is the right time to leave. If you don't think it's the right time to leave, I believe you. Okay. You don't have to keep on questioning yourself when you're with me. Okay. I totally believe in your decision. If you say that this is the right person for you, you love them, you want to be with them, I just trust you on that. You don't have to try and explain it to me. I believe what you are saying. If you are saying that this is your person, because he's my person. And no matter what anybody told me when all of this was going on, I wasn't letting go of my person. I just wasn't. So I completely understand that. You don't even have to stress yourself about that. I totally understand that. And I don't think that it makes you weak. I don't think that at all. People will say that. They will say that people will tell them that they're weak and, oh, okay. They are, they shouldn't be doing this and they're giving a bad example to their children and all sorts of things. But honestly, like, if you can't be with the person that you love, then what is the point of all of that trying to be an example? Okay. If you want your kids to know that sometimes in a relationship with somebody you really, really love, they mess up. And this is how you go about forgiving them. This is how you go about fixing it. Is that a bad lesson to teach them? I don't think so. I don't think that that is a negative thing to tell them, that if this person is your family, if this person is the person that you love, this is somebody that you need to have in your life, then you can forgive them. Like showing them that, oh, because even if we're family, even if I love you very deeply, I can just kick you to the curb. I don't think that's the best example. I don't think that. All right. They have to learn that there's going to be one person, their person, that kind of breaks the rules. Okay. And this show, the problem is they're going to be hurt no matter what you do. Okay. So you might as well show them the best example you possibly can of forgiving somebody that you love because you love them. It's a good enough reason. It really is. Okay. Everybody thinks so. What do you think? What do you think is a good enough reason to forgive? If you're with me right now over here on Facebook, hey ladies, what's a good enough reason? If you've been giving yourself a hard time about your reasons, what's a good enough reason to go ahead and forgive somebody that you want to forgive anyway? Tell me. All right. So while you're doing that, let me start right off with what we do every single solitary week. I want you to be doing every single solitary day. Okay. 5 times a day. is what I want you to be doing. I want you to be doing your deep breathing. Have you been doing your deep breathing? Have you been taking a few moments to yourself to slowly inhale and exhale and regulate your breathing? Have you done that? I'm trying to tell you, if you have not been doing that, you are doing yourself a disservice. It is important. We are talking about trauma. We are talking about trauma. That's what it is. This is not a, oh, you made it up in your mind thing. Okay? Trauma physically affects you. So you have to start working on some of those physical effects or else they'll stick. Okay, that's why people end up being traumatized and messed up for years because they didn't work on the physical stuff. And so their body got used to doing that. And now they freak out more frequently. All right, we need to work on doing your deep breathing so that you are steadily calming yourself, calming your emotions, getting control of them, not letting them just run roughshod over your whole life. Okay. When you do that, when you slow your breathing, slow inhales, nice slow exhales, you are teaching your brain. You are telling your brain, yes, we have had this trauma. However, I'm not in danger right now. And we need to be breathing normally, not only normally, calmly, evenly, slowly, because that is the state of mind that we're going for. That's the state of mind that we want to be in. And you teach your brain every day, 5 times a day, you teach your brain how you want it to behave, which starts to lessen the trauma. Okay. If you are not doing this basic thing, you're going to have a harder time regulating your emotions, starting to feel better, starting to forgive. It all starts with your physiology. This is a real physical thing that is happening to you. Start working on it from a physical angle and it's going to start to get better faster. All right. So we do 4-7-8 breathing. What we do is we blow out. You blow out as much as you can, try and deflate your lungs. Then you're going to inhale for a count of 4. You're going to hold that breath for a count of 7. Give your body a chance to use some of that oxygen just breathed in. And then you're going to blow out for a count of 8. Like you're blowing out the biggest cake full of birthday candles you ever saw. All right. We need to slowly control that breath for a count of 8 and exhale. Get rid of that carbon dioxide. When you do that, you get fresh oxygen into your brain, into your body. You start to feel better, more clear, easier to communicate because you actually have some oxygen going to your brain. You're not dumb. Okay. If you have less oxygen going to your brain is starving, you're stupider. It's hard for you to communicate like that, okay? But if you are taking these slow, deep breaths on a regular basis, you are feeding your brain oxygen, and it needs that. It's been traumatized, remember? Oxygen helps heal everything in our bodies when we are hurt, all right? So we need that oxygen going to our brain so we can think a little bit clearer, feel a little bit better, all right? We're going to do our deep breathing together. Join me, why won't you? If you are here with me, do your deep breathing with me now. All right? Come on in. All right. What we're going to do is blow out. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, blow out for 8. All right? First things first, blow out. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. How does it feel when you're doing your deep breathing? Let me know. It should feel good. It may make you a little tired, may make you a little wired. It's a little bit different, for different people. Sassy Money Savvy, I see you over there, girl. Hey. all the way over there on Instagram. When you're doing your deep breathing, it should calm you. It should center you. It should help you to think a little bit better. It should help you to defeat negative thoughts. All right. It is important physically and mentally to get oxygen. You're doing it very nice, very slowly. You are telling your brain that you are safe and sound and there is nothing to be worried about. All right. Hey, girl. All right. So we've done our deep breathing. Now, the next thing that I'm always going to tell you every single solitary time you come talk to me, I'm going to tell you, do your journaling. Have you been doing your journaling? Has that been a part of your life? Every single morning, every single evening? You need to be doing that, okay? If you're not doing your journaling, you need to step up with that, okay? I promise you it's going to help you a tremendous amount. Now, it doesn't matter what you use. This one came from the Dollar Tree. Look how pretty. Look how bright colors, watermelon colored. This came from the Dollar Tree. It does not matter what you use, okay? Sit down with your journal and your pen and write for about 5 minutes. First thing in the morning and in the evening before you go to bed. Bernicia, I'm so glad you're here live, girl. I hope you have good questions for me because I'm here for you. We talking tonight. I'm so glad you're here. Hi. Oh, okay. So sit down with your journal. We need date, time, level of anxiety. Okay. Date and time is so that you can come back and you can look in your journal and you can research some things. Okay. You can go back and say, oh, I feel like everything has just been terrible for like the last 6 months. I feel like I haven't had any good times. Things have been bad. But you can go back in your journal and you can go reread and you can be like, oh, hey, here's a whole bunch of days with stars on them that were really, really good days. I felt good. I didn't get all stressed out. They're right here. Even though it feels like I didn't have these good days, I did have these good days. And then you start to disprove the traumatized part of your brain. That traumatized part of your brain wants to believe everything is just horrible. It's all a miss. Everything is going wrong. It's all terrible for you. Okay. And when you start to prove it wrong with your own words in your journal, your brain can't keep on lying to you. It cannot keep on telling you that everything is all devastation and ruin. It cannot keep saying that because you have evidence. Okay. It's very important to write these things down. Write down how you're feeling, how you did with triggers, if an unexpected one popped up on you, what's your plan for the day, what's your plan for tomorrow, what was troubling for you today, what can you put down in this journal tonight, and then I'll think about it tomorrow when I have some time after I have slept. All sorts of good stuff you can put in your journal, okay? And then when you go back to read it, you are going to be able to say, hey, this is a thing. 8:21 p.m. every Thursday night, I am freaking out. I am feeling anxious. I am feeling tight. Every Thursday it happens like that. So now I can anticipate that on Thursday. I can do things beforehand to start to relax myself, to start to get my brain wound down, to start to tell myself that I am safe ahead of the panic happening, and then I can defeat it. Okay, you got to know what you're experiencing to be able to do something about it. All right, so we need to be doing our journaling. All right, sit down with your journal first thing in the morning for about 5 minutes, right before you go to bed, about 5 minutes. Put your level of anxiety, how bad you're feeling, 0 to 10. 0 is no anxiety whatsoever. Everything is great. All is right with the world. Then there's the 10. A 10 is a complete loss of control. 10 is I want to tear my hair out, rip my clothes off, run screaming down the street naked. Okay. That seems like a good idea to you. You are out of control of yourself at a 10. So chances are you're probably not sitting down at your journal writing when you're at a 10. But if you're feeling like you're 9.5, fine, go ahead and write that down. At the beginning of your journal entry and then at the end of your journal entry, come back and say, okay, after I've written all that out, I was at a 7. I might be about a 6 now. Okay, feeling all right. Feeling like everything's okay. All right. Then you have shown yourself that this works, and you have given yourself this time to get this stuff out of your head and down onto the paper so it can leave you alone for a little while, so you can rest, so you can stop thinking about it so much. All right. And you don't have to keep on talking about it with your honey. Then the third thing that I'm always going to ask you to do, and it is Thursday, so it always makes me happy to see. Thirsty Thursday. I want to hear about good stuff that is happening in your life. I want you to cultivate an attitude of gratitude. I need you to be every day looking for, seeking all of those things that you can be appreciative of, all of those things that you can be happy that you have them in your life. I need you to be looking for those, okay? Every single solitary day, okay? What this does, remember, we're dealing with trauma. Trauma is a physical thing. Your brain was affected, and so it kind of goes in this loop all day. It keeps on thinking about the negative, and then you feel about the negative and you feel bad, and you feel bad and you think about the negative, and then you feel bad again. We have to interrupt the loop, okay? Gratitude consistently through the day is going to interrupt that loop. It is going to call your brain's attention to things that are positive instead of things that are negative. Do you feel me on that? That's how we're going to start to heal. It is not just sweeping it under the rug. It is retraining your brain that you do not have to think about the negative thing every damn minute of the day. All right. We have to insist to our brains that we are looking for good things in our lives, not just the negative. All right. So you consistently tell yourself, first thing when you wake up, I'm so glad that I can open my eyes and see the sunshine this morning. I'm sure somebody woke up this morning and couldn't do that. I am appreciative of that. Thank you very much for that being my life. All right. Even though there's a trauma happening in my life, that is still part of my life too. All right. Thank goodness that the lights are on this morning. Thank goodness that the water is on. I can brush my teeth and go to the bathroom. Thank goodness that my kids are getting up and going to school. All of the things, okay? Every single solitary one of them. I want you to be so, so grateful for them. I want you to be overflowing, because you are overflowing with blessings every day of your life. Just because this trauma has happened to you doesn't mean that wonderful things aren't all the time happening to you, okay? One thing does not negate the other. It does not mean that, oh, well, because this trauma happened and nothing good will ever happen to me again. No. Nay, nay, I say, nay, nay. We can explore all of the good things and start to change the way that our brain is working after this trauma. Does that make sense to you? You all let me know. Let me know. All right. So, Thirsty Thursday is some good news time. You know I love good news. I love to share good stuff with you all. Let you all know how good that your other fellow believers are doing, okay? If you have something for Thirsty Thursday, for a good thing, something that you are grateful for in your life, post it. Let me know. Let me share it, okay? All right, so Caroline says, my Thirsty Thursday is my 13-year-old son coming to me when he was worried about something, curling up with me for a cuddle till he felt better. He is such an independent little man. It has been ages since he's done that. I am so thankful he will still come to me when he needs to. They grow up so fast. Still my baby boy. I know that's right, Caroline. I know I've got a 15-year-old boy, and it's like, if they come to you, it's like, oh, it came to me. I know. I want to fix it for you because you're my baby. I know you're a big man now. I know you're a big man, but I'm still your mommy, and I'll still fix it for you. I'll help you. Oh, it's so good when they come to you for something, because they get independent, and they're supposed to be independent. That's the sign that you did your job right, is they're being independent. But it's so nice when they can come to you and they can let down those walls, and they're not so grown up, and they can let you know that they still need you. Oh, that's a good one to be grateful for today, Caroline. I love it. All right, let me see. Anybody else? Joni. Hi, Joni. Joni said, okay, the 21st of each month, I noticed I don't do well, and I don't even realize the date. The 21st was the day my life changed. So the past few days, it's awful. And then he is a truck driver, was in the city where she lives, and this triggered me badly. And now I'm spiraling. Girl, okay, first of all, this is not the first time you've been spiraling, okay? you kind of spiral anyway, but it's just because of the fact that you're still living in the trauma. All right. That's the only thing that's going on right now. You like spiral from week to week. And that's totally normal. That's exactly what happens to most people. It's like, okay, I spiral for a minute and I get control of myself, and then something else happens and I spiral again. All right. The 21st, we need to stop noticing that. All right. And also, let me back up one more step. Check and see if the 21st has anything to do with your cycle. Check on that first. Because what will happen is, okay, if it's every month, like clockwork, a lot of time that's hormones. You'll be having PMS symptoms and not even realize that that's what it is. It's making it so flippin' horrible every month. It might be PMS symptoms. So, you still have a cycle. If you were biologically born female, you still have a cycle. Actually, everybody does. That's the whole thing. People don't understand that your hormones still play a part even if you don't have a cycle. Okay, even then, I don't have one either. I'm on Depo, and for birth control, I don't have one either. But I guarantee you, I started when I realized that I was having PMS symptoms, so I got that Flow app and matched it up. And it will, through the month, tell me exactly how I'm feeling, even though I don't actually have a cycle. So check, because that's you will not know that that's what it is because you're expecting that you don't have one. I know. Even with hysterectomy, even then, you still have hormones. You still have fluctuations in your hormones through the month. Men do too. Check him out. Is there a time in the month where he gets all bitchy to you too? He has PMS too. His testosterone will dip at a certain point during the month. You can count it. You can put it on a calendar. If he's just acting bitchy for no reason, you're like, why is he acting like this? Like, don't take it personal. Just note that and note the date and come back again next month and see, don't he be bitchy the next month the same time. We all have hormones, even with hysterectomy. Even then, we all have hormones. We all have cycles that our bodies are going through. And so you can nail it. You can pinpoint it. If it is the 21st every month, look for other symptoms, look for other things about how you're feeling. You'll be able to tell. I know it's harder when you don't have the cycle to match it up to. But even with hysterectomy, I talk to women all the time. Even with hysterectomy, you will still feel it. It will still be fluctuations in your hormones because every human being has fluctuations in their hormones all through the month. All right. So check and see if that's what it is. Because yes, it also may be the date that you found out. Yes, that's true. And it's an anniversary reaction, which is a trigger. But check and see if that's what it is too. Okay. Yeah. Check and see. Because I had to line it up because I didn't have the actual period to go by. But I was spotting one month and I was like, let me line it up. Okay, let me say, okay, this is where we're starting. Okay, I'm spotting here. So where I think I should be having my period. And I lined it up like that on the app. And I'm trying to tell you, it's dead on. Every month, it'd be like, hey, you're going to be feeling a little bit bloated today. And I'd be like, you know what? You're right. Be like, you might feel a little bit emotional. My, you are absolutely right there, Flo. Thank you so much for telling me. I don't know. I haven't tried any other apps. I don't know any other ones personally, but me personally, I have used the Flo app. It is very accurate and it gives you a ton of information every month. It gives you a ton of information about what is supposed to be happening and why your body is reacting the way that it does. It's fascinating to me. And I think that so many people don't know about their hormones. I don't think men know about their hormones either. So then by the time, we're trying to deal with them, they got PMS at the same time we got PMS. We got problems. Okay. All right, let's see. All right, last thing. Always want to tell you that every single time I do this, I'm going to tell you the same thing because the questions are always going to get you in trouble. Don't ask the questions. Don't do it. You have found out enough information. You have gotten plenty of information about what has happened, How did it happen? Where did it happen? When did it happen? Who did it happen with? You have gotten plenty of information about that, okay? You don't need any more. I promise you. I promise you right now, with the information that you have exactly as much as you need to heal. You do not need to add any more on to that, because you know what's going to happen? It's going to mess with your trauma, okay? You are going to continue to feed yourself terrible information that you really don't need to actually heal, in order to try and like understand why this happened. If you're not a cheater, you're not going to understand why this happened. All right. If you're not going through the things that they were going through at the time, you're not going to understand why this happened. So asking a whole bunch of questions is just going to piss you off. Okay. It's going to make them real frustrated, and they're not going to want to talk about it. So they're going to get all defensive, and then you're going to get pissed off because you're like, well, why the hell are you getting defensive with me? I should be able to ask what I want to, even though it is no good for either of you. Okay. So I want you to stop asking questions altogether. If you possibly can, don't ask any at all. Can you do that? Are you capable of not asking a question to your mate? I mean, nothing. Not how is your day today? Where are the kids? None of that. None of that. Could you do it if I challenged you to it? Could you do days at a time not using a question mark? All right. It is a simple way that you can start to change your brain around after this trauma by challenging yourself not to use questions, if you can possibly help it. Because what will happen is I have to think of another way to say what I'm saying. And then I have to rethink, okay, is this necessary what I'm saying? Is this question necessary? What was my goal in this question? Did I have a goal, or was I just running my mouth because I want to say something, because I want to fill up the space? I was like that. I was big on, I have to be talking all the time to him, getting him to pay attention all the time to me, or else he thinks that I'm boring and he doesn't want to be interacting with me. That's what I thought. All right. My security was telling me that. So is it that? Is it you're just trying to fill up space with talking? Or are you trying to learn something? Or are you trying to set it up so he gets in a trap? What is it that is happening when you're asking that question? All right. If it's just, that desperation, oh, please talk to me, you may not want to say that. Okay. You may not want to come across like that. So try it. Try it this week as you are going forward. Keep a count in your head of how many questions you are asking. Okay. And see if you can stop asking any amount of questions. If you can stop all of them, that's great. But see if you can stop any amount of questions this week. It is going to change the way your brain functions. Your brain is used to just going around in the same loop. And right now, that loop is being run by the trauma. And so every single solitary time the trauma thinks of another question, it wants you to ask that question. All right. So instead of that, instead of letting the trauma run the show, you be in control of what you say and what you do with your honey. How about that? You let me know if you feel like you can do it. All right. But if you can't, if you absolutely can't, this is what I recommend. This is the and THEAND. Put that in on Amazon. It will pop right up. It's from a company called The Skin Deep. This is an excellent game. It's 199 questions about healing your relationship, trying to get back together, trying to work things out. So instead of the questions you want to ask, let's try a couple of these. All right. If you are just stuck and you can't help yourself and your brain is like, I want to ask a question, let's come up with a different question to ask. Okay. All right. So, what do you believe you have healed in me? That's an interesting one. I think I just reshuffled the cards again for the first time in like a year. But I like this question. What do you believe you have healed in me? Because we can talk about how they hurt you all day, but there's some stuff in you that got healed by being with this person. With my husband, it was a very deep childhood trauma of the smell of beer. Freaked me right out. Freaked me out, gave me panic attacks. And, he drank beer when I met him. And it was him being so very different from people who had been drinking beer before, who had freaked me out before. And not being willing to run from that with me, saying, look, okay, look, this is a normal thing that I'm doing. We have to be able to come to a better place with this. I will sit with you, we will hold hands, whatever it is you need to do to get you in a place where you can understand that you are safe even if I'm drinking a beer. That's something that he healed in me. That's something that I can talk. I don't have that same freak out reaction to the smell anymore that I used to. So, that's something that he's healed in me. There's something that he's healed in you too. Talk about that. Another one is, what's the most ridiculous thing you've seen me do and why? Hopefully, this will be a fun one. Hopefully, we will not be just throwing mean things at each other. But what's the most ridiculous thing you've seen me do and why? My husband would tell you, I think what he would say the most ridiculous thing he's seen me do is have food at a funeral. Okay, so I think it was my grandmother or my grandfather. I think it was my grandfather that passed. And, I get there, I'm late. I'm always late. And so as I'm getting there, my neighbor, or my grandmother's neighbor, who's, known me since a kid, she was like, hey, you've got to get ready to go. The car is about to leave, but here, take some food with you. I know you didn't eat yet. So she grabbed a couple of bags and she's put chicken and biscuits and a soda, and I had some candy, all that, and she stuffed it in my purse and sent me on my way. So after the funeral is over, we're just sitting at the cemetery, getting ready to go to the no, we had already come from the cemetery. We were sitting, getting ready to leave out of the cemetery, and I started digging in my bag because I'm hungry, and I break out chicken and biscuits and a soda, which is still icy cold, has sweat running down the side of it. And my husband said that's one of his favorite stories to tell about me, is that I busted out with chicken and biscuits at a funeral and ice cold soda. Right? So, what good stories does he have about you? What good stories do you have about him? All right. One more question. What's one experience you wish you never shared, and what have we learned from it? Ooh, we know what that might be. This might be one of those questions that you might want to skip, okay? If your honey wants to skip one, if you want to skip one, that's fine. You just look at each other in the eyes for 10 seconds and then you say skip. All right. All right, let's see. Who else? What else we got going on, ladies? Joni, you say yes, but when the stories change, how do you stop the questions? Joni, the only reason the stories changed is because you kept asking the questions. That's what happened. You told him when you asked the question that you wanted to know the truth. And he told you what he knows. He told you what he could tell you. And then your brain decided that wasn't enough. I need more details about that story. And then you come back and you ask the same question again about the same story he's already told you. Now, you're telling him, I don't accept that story. I don't think that story is the truth. I don't think that you're telling me the truth right now. Try again. All right. That's what you're saying to him when you do that. When you keep going back trying to compare stories, you're trying to say that I don't believe that story. Change it for me, and then I'll see if I like that story. That's what you're asking for. And so then every time it changes, you get mad because you don't realize you're telling him that you don't like the first story, you don't like what he said before, and you're not willing to accept it. So you want something else. You don't realize that you're asking him that. But if you do that continuously, that's what you're doing. All right. Does that make sense? The story is only changing because you keep asking about the story. Okay. And the other part of that is you think these details are important and he does not. You are like, oh, I need to know all of this stuff so that I can forgive you. But you're asking him things that he wasn't remembering anyway because it didn't mean anything to him. All right. You're trying to get so deep into a story. You want him to tell you this story and move you, somehow help you understand that, oh, it had to happen this way because all of these circumstances had lined up and this is what happened to you. And that's not the case. That's not what happened. Okay, what happened was he did something stupid and it didn't mean a whole bunch to him. The interactions, all of that stuff didn't mean a whole bunch to him. So when you come back and you're trying to get all of these pieces of the story, he's telling you what he remembers at the time of what he has already remembered. And another thing is when you tell a story about what you remember, you are telling the story of the last time you remembered it. You're not going all the way back in your brain, in your files, to the first time it happened. Your brain doesn't do that. On general purpose, what your brain does is it skips back to the last time you told this story. And okay, I tell the story like I told it the last time I told the story, not going all the way back and actually remembering what happened. Does that make sense to you? Because it's a funny way that our brains act in general, but most of the time when you are remembering something, you're remembering the last time you remembered it. Okay? Let's see. Carissa said, I love this reminder every time because it's so hard not to ask. Never stop saying it. I need it every week. I will never stop saying it because I say it every day. Okay? You all hear me every week, but I work with clients all week. And I say this every day. Stop asking questions. Somebody had just came to me the other night who was like, yes, I asked them this question and then it escalated. Yes, but you're not supposed to be asking the questions. We don't have to escalate if we're not trying to have a confrontation. All right. We need time. If you have been dealing with this trauma, you need time to calm down. You need time where we are not dealing with it, where we're not grappling with it, where we're not talking about it. You need time for your emotions to settle and calm down and be able to back off and be able to think about it clearly and rationally. When you're upset and you're traumatized, your brain ain't working the best. It is not working the best that it could be working. All right. So we've got to calm down. And so asking those questions consistently never allows you to calm down. It never gives you the chance for your brain to cool off, for your emotions to settle, because you're constantly poking at that wound. I was a nurse for 20 years, and one of my favorite nurse sayings has always been, if you want a wound to heal, you got to keep your fingers out of it. Okay. It's something we all say. Keep your fingers out of the doggone wound. All right. And that's what you're doing when you're asking questions. You are digging your little dirty fingers into a wound that is not healed yet. Okay. You are making it harder for it to heal. You're tearing the edges of the wound to shreds. You are you're causing all sorts of new trauma to the same wound. Okay. When you talk about trauma, you re-traumatize yourself. You have to back away from this for a while. If this has been constantly on your mind, especially if you're a year out and it's still all the time thinking about it, wanting to talk about it, getting angry about it, getting all escalated about it, you have got to take a break. Okay? You got to take a break in your brain and give yourself a little bit of time to actually heal without constantly bringing up the trauma. Does that make sense? I will never stop telling you to stop asking questions. I will never stop. I will say it every time we talk because I tell somebody every day, hey, you were asking questions. Remember, you're not supposed to ask questions. And it's hard because when your brain is traumatized, it wants to ask the questions, okay? It wants to. It's like an itch. It wants to know things. It wants to fill in the blanks of knowledge that it doesn't have to be able to say, okay, well, if I know this, then maybe I can prevent it from happening again. That's not true. That has never been the case. You can't have enough knowledge to stop somebody from being sneaky. If they want to be sneaky, they're going to be sneaky. Okay? You can't stop it with all the information in the world. You have to just know that your brain is reacting to that out of trauma and to understand that it's not going to kill you not to ask the questions. But if you've got to ask a question, one of these will help a little bit better than the questions that you're thinking about asking. All right. Johnny said, girl, me too. But when I ask something, things seem to come out more or the story seems to change. So what do you believe? That's what I'm saying. You keep asking for more detail and then you are talking to somebody who wasn't all that invested in all the detail to begin with. You think it's really super important. You think that this will just stand out. Every moment will be crystal clear to him. But I'm saying to you that people that cheat are usually traumatized. And so we do things while we are traumatized that we're not fully completely aware of. And we do things, the wrong things, and hurt other people in the meantime. So you may not be completely connected to those emotions to what you did at all. Okay? It may not be the case at all, but then you keep saying that you don't like this story. You keep asking him for another story. He's going to keep telling you another story. Stop asking. All right. Whatever story it is that you want to believe it. Just go ahead and believe it. It doesn't really matter what story it is. It could be bad. It could be good. Whatever story is you are willing to accept it. Okay. And then just stop asking all the questions. That, Jessica, that's how you take a break. Whatever story it is that you have in your brain, assume that you have all of the facts. Assume that you have every single solitary thing that you need. Because I promise you, right this second, right this moment, in your head, you have every answer that you need to be able to heal. I promise you, you have them all. Okay? Because you don't need them. All right. You don't need all the answers to these questions to be able to heal. It is not necessary. It is a trick of the trauma, it's a trick of your brain telling you that you need that to put off the healing for a little extra time. If I got to collect all these answers before I can heal, it's all right. We can wait for a minute and then we can heal a little later. Your brain's trying to trick you. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for that, okay? It is messing with you. That's how you take a break. Whatever it is that you are so terrified to believe, go ahead and believe the absolute worst. If that makes you feel better, just stick with that story is the real story. All right. Because he's always going to have different parts of it. Later on, as you start to heal, he'll start being more free with parts of the story. And so you'll find out things that you didn't know before that he wasn't even aware of or even able to talk about because he was so afraid that the relationship was going to fall apart. Hey, that's Mariah 15. I see you on Instagram. Hi, girl. So if you are in that worked up emotional state, and he tells you these things that he comes to remember about this situation, he's worried that you're going to leave him. All right. So when you have started to heal a little bit, when you started going down the healing path a little bit, feeling a little bit better, and you start to let the walls come down, then he's able to tell you a little bit more detail about what was going on. But honestly, again, you don't need it. You really don't. I promise you don't need it. All right. Let's see. Ooh, got questions. Oh, wait, I skipped over something. Let me open this up. Because I can't see. Open. Where? Computer. Let's see. Oh, goodness. Could you come on? There we go. All right. Okay. All right. Hey, take a break. Okay, Carissa said, "I never, ever, ever stops thinking about it. 111 days, and it's not had a break. No wonder I'm so tired." Yeah, you get tired. That's what happens with trauma. Okay, you need to start telling your brain. You need to start telling your brain what you want it to do. You need to say, "Okay, look, I understand that this was a hurtful thing that has happened, but us going over and over it is not happening. It doesn't make me feel better. It's not helping it not to happen again. It's just making me be mean and anxious and stressed. And I don't like it. So we're gonna change that. We're not gonna keep on doing that." So every single time your brain comes up to you, it's like, "Hey, guess what? I'm upset about this." You say, "Yes, I know. We've been upset about it, but we're not gonna keep going through it." Talk to your brain like you talk to a child. "No, we're not going to talk about this. That is not a topic that we are going to continue to go on and on about. Do you want to talk about something else? You can talk about something else to me. Tell me something good that has happened today in our lives. Don't keep telling me the bad stuff." All right. Be in control of your brain. Nobody else is in control of your thoughts besides you. You got to be consistently insistent that You are not going to just listen to that shit all the time. You are not going to do it. I understand we were hurt. Yes, I do. But I'm not going to sit here and dwell on that every single minute of my day. I have other stuff to do. Okay? Tell your brain, talk to it. All right? Jessica says she does the same thing. It's like that. It really is. It's so rough because it just keeps going and over and over and over again. But you can interrupt that thought process. Carissa said, "What if they are invested? He truly believes he loves her more than he ever loved me. He says he wants to be with her forever and would never ever want to come back. And he is so glad to be rid of me forever, and that no piece of him loves me. He says the connection is better, the sex is better, the love is deeper. So he probably does remember it all. Does that change whether or not I should ask?" First of all, that is a case of the lady protesting too much. Okay, all of that, telling you all of that. Oh, you're so much less than her. That's just to tell himself that he's trying to convince himself of that. That's what he's doing when he's saying all of that. But that does not change the fact. Do not ask him. Do not ask him shit about her, because at this point you need to understand that the more you act like she's important, the more he will believe that she's important. Okay. You being so invested in this, getting so scared about this, stressing out so much about this, asking so many questions about this shows him that you believe that she is this threat. She is so much better than me. That's why I am so afraid. And I'm asking you so many questions about her. So no, absolutely no questions about her. She is not a fucking threat. She is nobody. Nobody. Okay? Automatically believe that. Start off believing that. And then treat the entire situation like you believe that. Like she is nobody. She is nobody next to you. She can't compare to you. She can't hold a candle to you. She's not going to keep his attention. All right? This is a little crisis that he's in. He wants to be all in love. He wants the fairy tale crap. And, so exhausting. People get all stuck on the fairy tale crap because they get all invested in it and they're like, oh, my hormones are telling me that I feel so deeply. But that's all it is his hormones. Okay. Usually, people that fall all in limerence like this, like that that swept away feeling that, oh, this person is so much for me. That feeling usually lasts about 7 to 9 months. It's a hormonal thing. So if he's feeling all like that and he's been feeling like that for a minute, it's probably going to wear off. Okay. They're going to start to have problems. Expect them to have problems. Expect their relationship to fall all to pieces, and you just be so cool and so calm and so open and so understanding. Oh yes, you fell all in love. I know. She just didn't deserve you. She just didn't deserve you. She's just not gonna be too. She's not gonna be good enough for you. I know. I know. Go on, run with that. He'll snap out of it. They usually do. He said, "Oh, I answered that. No amount of answers will help you with the healing. I hear you. Good, 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 good. There's nothing that they can do. Nothing that they have to give you is what you need to heal. What you need to heal is the dreams formula. Always. I broke it down for you. I've told you everything you need. You need to make the decision that D. We need to know what we're doing. We need to make a choice. And it comes up in Google searches, should I stay or go after infidelity? And should I stay with a cheater? All of these questions that are being asked by women who want to stay. All right. We wouldn't be asking these questions. You wouldn't be here if that wasn't what you want. So just make up your mind. Go for it. All right. Decide that's what you want and then pursue it like you have made the decision. All right. R is recognizing and then overcoming those fearful thoughts. That fear speech in your brain, that, oh, I got to ask a question. What if he does this again? Oh, all the what ifs. All of that stuff is just fearful speech from the trauma. You can change that speech. You do not have to live with that forever and ever. You do not have to live with the troubling thoughts all the time for the rest of your life. You can condition yourself. You can train yourself. You can make your brain stop it. All right. E is evaluating the why, figuring out exactly why this happened. What did he do? What was going on with him? What pain was so bad inside of him that he thought this was a good idea. Because that's what it all comes down to, right? If you are in such an altered state of mind that you think that cheating on your mate is a good idea, then you were in trouble in the first place. There was something wrong. There was something happening to you that was already making you go in that direction. So what was it? Sick, sad, stupid. We got sickness in some way, physical or mental. Could be addiction, could be mental health, all sorts of things that people, when they're sick, they're not at their best. Sad. Sad is a loss of some kind, something that caused some grief, all right? And stupid. Stupid is just all of the stupid things that men and women are told about how they're supposed to be in a relationship. Men are told they're supposed to have a ton of women. And, if they don't have a ton of women, then they got to have a ton of money. And if they don't have either, then they're just worthless. It's a whole bunch of stupid stuff that men are told about themselves that will make them do something like that. All right. So, whatever that reason is, it might be a combination of the three, but it's usually something painful for them, and they thought that doing this would make them feel better. Then got the A, which is allowing the healing to happen. We got to stop talking about it. We got to start doing the things that we used to do before we did this. We've got to start having sex again. We got to start sleeping in the same bed. We got to stop running this conversation about what happened into the ground. We got to put our rings back on. We got to live in the same house. We got to do all of the things. Be in the relationship, not one foot out the door. Act like you're in the relationship. Act like you're a happy person in the relationship. Allow that healing to happen. Allow the walls to come down and get close again. Then we got the M. The M is for managing your future feelings. You need to come up with a plan. You need to know what the triggers are and then have a plan for what you're going to do about them that is only going to involve you. Not automatically going to him and saying, "Oh, I'm triggered. I feel bad. Here, listen to how you made me feel bad." And then we both feel bad because then he's not reacting the way you want him to react, of course, because to him, that's an attack. And then he gets defensive and you get off. Where the hell do you get off? Not being as receptive as you possibly can to my pain. Tired of the pain. Aren't you tired of the pain? I know I got tired of the pain. So we need to work on not focusing on the pain, going towards our happiness, going towards the life that we actually want to live. Do the things that a person who is all healed up would do. All right. Then we got the S. We've got the oh wait, that was part of the A. Managing your future feelings. Get your plan together. Know what you're going to do ahead of time, and then every time you have that trigger, do your thing. Okay, don't go off to him. Fix it on your own. Understand that you are in control of your emotions and nobody else is. And if you can start to control it, then you can defeat this pain. And then S, seek some support. Get some support from somebody who understands that you need to be doing all of those things. Get some help from somebody who is not going to be like, "Oh, well, he should be fixing you." Okay, look, that has always been a bad idea to have a man trying to fix you. Even if he was the one that caused this pain in the first place, do you really trust him to fix it? You just go hand it all back over to him and be like, "Here, you broke my heart, but here you go. Here, you piece it back together. I'm sure you can do a good job of it." No, okay? If you're gonna heal, you're gonna heal yourself because you're a damn queen. Okay, you don't need to hand your heart over to somebody else ever to heal. Even your person, you do not need to hand your heart over to them and say, "Okay, I don't have the ability to do it. Here, you fix my heart for me." That is not the case ever. Okay, you always have the ability. All right, so that's always that's what you need to be doing. Those are the things is making a decision, understanding the fear, figuring out why, allowing yourself to heal, manage those triggers, and get some help that understands that and doesn't give you a hard time about it. Get somebody who's not going to hassle you about the fact that you want to stay in your relationship. Um, I know people will say it, but the reason I started doing this was because I was talking to so many women who were hiding the fact that they had ever been cheated on, but that was the problem the root problem of all the problems in the relationship as I was trying to help them with the relationship issues. So there's a whole bunch of people who will tell you to leave, but a lot of those people are lying, they wouldn't leave. So, don't feel bad about it. Go ahead on and be invested as you possibly can in healing and recovering as much as you can in this relationship. If that's what you want. Let's see. Jessica said our 25th wedding anniversary is coming up. Oh, yay, congratulations. He's excited to celebrate, and I'm not. I feel our wedding vows has been broken. How do I celebrate this day that feels like it isn't something to honor? I don't even wear my wedding rings, make me sick to even think about putting them on. They don't symbolize the same thing. They don't mean anything or what they did. That is actually absolutely not true, Jessica. Let me tell you honestly, your wedding rings represented exactly this moment. Okay. That was what you were putting those on for. They told you when you put them on, they were like, hey, this is for sickness and health, rich or poor, better or worse. It is all in these rings. You didn't break anything. You didn't break a thing. What are you talking about? You didn't break any part of your vows. You are still together. You are still loving this man. You are still trying to be with him. You didn't break shit. Why shouldn't you wear your rings? Okay? You're like, oh, well, he broke his vows. Yes, he did not live up to one of the vows. To be completely faithful to you, absolutely, he didn't do that. But that does not mean you don't continue on and do better now. That doesn't mean that. That doesn't mean that, oh, well, since you messed up, then our whole relationship is messed up. That's the whole point of the rings in the first place. That if you fail, if I fail, we forgive each other. We move on. We fix it. We go forward. You have been married for 25 years. You damn well better celebrate that. Okay. I am sorry. I know everybody gets all worked up about that and feels like, oh, well, it's not anything to celebrate. Yes, it is. It is a quarter of a century. You have loved one another and made a commitment to be together. Even though he did this craziness, you're still together. You are still together right this minute. And that's what you're celebrating when you celebrate the 25th anniversary. Girl, put your rings on. You did not do anything wrong. They are not at all a symbol of perfection. That was never what they were. And if that was what you were thinking that they were, you went into this wrong. Your rings are a symbol of a commitment that even in the worst of times, we're going to make it. We are going to do that is what those rings are symbolizing. And that's exactly what you're doing. So, how are they not symbolizing what they're supposed to symbolize? Tell me about it. Let me know what exactly is it that you think they are symbolizing that they don't symbolize anymore. Carissa said, "Oh, good plan. I never thought of that. She's not a threat. She's really is the exact opposite of me. I'm not being mean, but she really is a horrible person. Girl, yeah, they usually are, especially if they oh man got a wife and they trying to break you up. You know, yeah, you never have to compare yourself to her. She is a peasant girl. You are a queen. You don't even have to worry about her. So stop treating her like she's a queen in her own right. She is not. She is stable girl trying to pretend to be queen. Okay, it's obvious that she's not you. Okay, there's no need for you to even get all worked up, be stressed out, and act like she could possibly take your place. Like really, really. No, 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 peasant girl, go sit down. All right. He divorced me 30 days after the first time he slept with her. So our rings really did die. But when he comes back, I'm keeping all the faith. I'm gonna wear them, but I want him to buy me another band to make it too. I'll put them on. Go ahead and put them on. That whole thing just all of a sudden jumping up and getting divorced. That was a very rash decision, obviously made in some kind of distress. You don't just up and be like, hey, I slept with somebody else. Here, I'm about to leave you. That's insane. That is crazy. There's something very, very wrong there. So I think that you're right. I think that I think that he is going to recognize, you know, maybe come to holidays, you know, being without you for the holidays, being without your kids for the holidays. I think he's going to recognize that, oh, maybe this was stupid. He's going to start trying to crawl back to me. That's what I thought. That's my A lot of the time they do that when they have like the actual reality of I don't have my wife, I don't have my kids anymore. I have just run off with this person, and this person I didn't even know that well. And now that I've gotten to know her that well, I don't really like her that well. That's always how it goes. They never really know this person. And then when they spend all this time with this person, then they're like, oh, I kind of fucked that up, didn't I? So I would assume that he was gonna get it together and bring us butt on home. So I'm with you on that. I'm wearing my ring. Shoot. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm gonna wear my rings. Hey, look, I got good jewelry. I'm gonna wear my good jewelry. I don't care if he messing up. But he did the whole divorce thing. You could date for a little bit, but if you really want to be back with him, there's not really any need for you to like try and draw anybody into your life. But if you want to date for fun, you could. Right. Let's see. Any other questions, comments, thoughts, complaints, anything else going on? Don't see any other questions. I don't see any questions in the post. Anybody got anything? You know I'm here for you. You know I love answering these questions. This is a fascinating topic. It really is. Um, okay. How to deal with the feelings of broken promises for the anniversary tomorrow. You didn't break any promises. You didn't do that. You did not do that. You can go ahead and be celebrated for what you did. You are a good spouse. You are working it out. You are doing what you were supposed to be doing. All right. Celebrate, girl. I feel like everybody should celebrate what they can. Honestly, like even if okay, yeah, things are stressful. Yeah, that's one thing. But I think that you should be able to celebrate whatever you can, even in the most stressful time. I feel like you shouldn't miss those opportunities. If there is a reason to celebrate, celebrate. If there is even a minuscule reason to celebrate, I am all for it. Okay. I am all for breaking out the food and drinks and having a good time even when things aren't going the best, because you don't know. You don't know when they'll start going good again. You don't know if treating it like it's a good occasion will help things start to go better again. So I'm always for that. You say you have one, Carissa? Go ahead, tell me what the question is. Let me know. I said, "He's made it clear he is done with me for now, so I need to let him go. I need to let him make his choices, the things he wants, and I need to let go for now. I can best let go of him for now without losing the hope that he will be back. I don't know if I asked that well. I would I don't know if we talked about this before. I would stick with, um, I would give him a little message in the morning. Good morning. I'm thinking about you. And then in the evening, good night, getting ready to go to bed. I was thinking about you. I would just do that. Very, very short, very concise message. Don't ask anything. Just let it be a reach out and, "Hey, I love you," and to step back into the shadows. First of all, it's gonna piss her off, all right? I am all for pissing off the side chick. I'm all for that. So let her be all insecure for a while, all right? That you are just texting him, and even if he's not answering you, still give him a text. So she's gonna know because of course she can't trust him because she knows she can't trust him. So she's probably gonna be looking at his phone and she's gonna see that she texted. Said he blocked me. I tried that and now I can't get a hold of him anyway. I thought you said you had just been talking to him. Okay, that's all right. That's all right. I just don't talk to him at all. All right, fine. If we are blocked, fine. Okay, go ahead. Go on about your life. Go do your own thing. I would say just for the next, what is it? It's August, September, October. I'd say in like the next 60 days or so, it's gonna start hitting him, and then as the holidays are starting to roll around and he's not gonna be around the kids, and yeah, I think it should start to hit home around then. So don't bother at all then. All right, fine. He's blocked. No need to keep on talking to him. No need to keep on trying to chat with him. Go ahead, just live your life. Do the things that make you feel good. Take care of your kids. Have a good time right now. Don't get all into him. Let him go ahead and be honest. All right. They just get so damn stubborn. I swear they do. And when they feel like they're just in love with these chicks, oh, they act so stupid. This acts so dumb when they believe. They're like, "Oh, I love her. I'm gonna stop talking to you altogether. I'm gonna divorce you because oh, this thing, these hormones are so intense." That's all it is, and that's the sad part about it. They don't even know that it's just hormones. Like if they knew that, a lot of the time they would be like, "Oh, oh, it's like when you have PMS. Oh, okay, all right, well, never mind. It's not real." And then they would leave it alone. But I swear, they be really feeling it. They feel those hormones surge, that testosterone rises. You all were married for such a long time, and when you're with somebody for a long time, like for men, we don't they don't get that surge of testosterone when they're with us anymore. They get oxytocin, which is the hug chemical, the I love you so much and I feel so tender towards you feeling. And they don't like that. They don't like it. It feels bad to them. It feels vulnerable to them, and they would rather have the testosterone because, first of all, testosterone makes you a little dumb. So it kind of numbs that area up there a little bit, and then it makes them feel strong and it makes them feel really masculine and manly. And oxytocin makes them feel more feminine. And when they find a new person, they get this sort of testosterone into their systems, and they feel like this person, this person is who did that. I was with the wrong person. And it wasn't that at all. It was just the fact that you were with the right person for so long that your body didn't react like that anymore. This brand new women can always inspire some new testosterone production. And so then they feel like that is real. That must be the real feeling of, oh, I'm so in love because I don't feel like that with my partner anymore, but I feel like that with this new person. And so that must mean that we are really in love. And really, it's just their hormones. Really, it's just the fact that that testosterone has gotten into their bloodstream, gotten to their brain, made them a little dumber, a little duller. And it also made them feel more manly and better about themselves. And so they feel like that's in love. They feel like that is perfect. Everything is wonderful. She loves me. I love her. But that shit wears off. Oh, it wears off so fast. And then as soon as she stops producing that same feeling for him, that squirt of testosterone every time she's with him, he's gonna be looking at her like, oh, oh, I guess we're not really in love, huh? You don't make me feel the same thing. They think it is another person making them feel that way, and it is not. It's their own hormones. So I totally understand. He's being a jackass. We're gonna give him a little time. Go ahead and give him a little time to be stupid out here and turn her off because him being a dumb dude, he's probably gonna mess that up too. And let him go ahead and do that. You just sit back and chill. Do your own thing, things that make you feel good, things that make you feel like you are doing something worthwhile for the world. Put yourself out there, volunteer, do something that makes you happy and gives you something to focus on, and let him let his whole life fall apart real quick. Okay, let him do that. All right, that makes sense. I don't see any other questions. I think that's it for now. I think that's all. All right. Yeah, I don't see anything else. Okay, cool. So, you know, you know the things. Um, First of all, I'm working on my visibility here, so I'm working on YouTube videos, I'm working on TikToks, I'm working on Facebook Reels. So go like all of my stuff, okay? Go to YouTube and subscribe and follow, and go to TikTok and be a follower, and go to Instagram and be a follower. love Coach Dasha everywhere. Okay. I love Coach Dasha anywhere you care to look online. So go and do that. I'm trying to get my numbers up. Trying to get in the thousands on there. Come on. All righty, y'all. That's it. That's all I got for you. I will give you some affirmation work though. I want you to remember to do your affirmations. Remember, your brain is telling you all these negative things because you're traumatized. It's hurting, it's stressed out, and it wants you to believe these horrible things so that you back away, you get smaller, you play small, you hide away. All right. And we don't want to hide away. We want to be real life bad bitches, okay? We want to be out here being queens in our own right. So I want you to be giving yourself positive affirmations every single solitary day. I want you to tell yourself the opposite of the worst thought that you have about yourself. And I want you to say it like you really mean it. Look yourself into the eye in your camera, look at yourself and say it with conviction so that your brain has a recording of, hey, this morning she loved herself. All right, well, I think that's what we're doing today. And so then it can always come back to that picture of you saying the thing. All right, so I'll give you an affirmation for today. This one says, today I am persistent. I am a persistent chick. Today, nothing will stop me from accomplishing my goals. Nothing will stand in the way of my happiness. Oh boy, that's a mouthful of a affirmation right there. Today, I am persistent. Today, nothing will stop me from accomplishing my goals. Nothing will stand in the way of my happiness. Because you know what? Nothing on the outside can stop you from getting to happy. Okay. It's only the stuff on the inside that stops you from getting to happy. And I'm very glad that you were here with me so that you can regulate those emotions and actually get to happy. Okay. I am super excited that you are doing that. All right. I am excited that you have decided that you want to be happy. All right. And that's all you really need to be happy. You just decide it and act like a person who is happy, do the happy things, and you get happy. Okay. So practice, say your affirmation. Don't do what the fear tells you to do this week. Don't ask so many questions. And I think that's it. I think that's all for now. For now, I love you. And I'm so, so proud of you for what you're doing, for opening yourself up to love and forgiveness the way that you are. All right. All right, y'all. That's it. Thank you so much for joining me for the Healing Hour Live. You're welcome. You're welcome, ladies. I will see you again next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Healing Hour Live right here. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all of the above. Go like, go subscribe, go follow. All right, y'all. I'll talk to you next week. And bye on Instagram. Bye, Facebook and YouTube.